Good Friday evening to you. Hope your weekend is off to a good start. Welcome to More Sports Les Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. I'm Dave Bacon. Browns getting ready for a 4:25 national game on Sunday where they will travel to New England to face the New England Patriots. Former Browns head coach Bill Belichick has the Patriots 7-0 as they head into this game and looking the part as the best team in the NFL. Belichick has 299 career wins. Number 300 would put him in elite company as only Don Shula and George Halas have 300 career wins in the NFL. Belichick could join that with a win against the Browns on Sunday. The Patriots are working on a short week after dismantling the Jets. On Monday night, they looked impressive, but it doesn't sound like they're taking the 2-4 Browns lightly at all.
Started on the short week here with Cleveland, and certainly a lot of explosive players to worry about with this team. They got a lot of weapons on offense, defense, special teams. Make a lot of big plays, and certainly cause a lot of problems. So, Coach Kitchens is a very aggressive coach offensively. They do a good job attacking defenses and create a lot of explosive plays. In all areas of the game. Great runner, receivers, quarterback, experienced offensive line. Defensively, they do a good job turning the ball over, create negative plays, long yardage, 3 and outs, and special teams. Two good returners, good return game, good coverage players, big kicker, punter. Solid team with a lot of talent that John Dorsey and Coach Kitchens, their organization, have put together. So, a big challenge for us Sunday. Short week here to get ready for these guys and play competitively. They do a lot of things well, cause a lot of problems.
Raise your hand. Roll. Question. Good, Mike.
Bill, you guys announced the transaction on the trade for Sanu. What traits does he have that you look forward to seeing how it fits here with you guys?
Yeah, he's a very experienced receiver. He's had a lot of production. Excited to have him. See how it goes. See how it goes.
Odell and Jarvis Landry are the names, but Callaway is as explosive as they come. Nick Chubb is running away from guys in the secondary, which you don't see a lot from running backs in the NFL. And then, Seals Jones has made quite a bit of plays down the field as well. So as a unit, you have to make sure all of us are in position to do the right thing. We can't, I can't help for somebody else or somebody help me because they just have too many explosive players. I think even the way Baker Mayfield played, he's able to escape the pocket, still throw the ball on the money. The deep ball he threw against Seattle where he was rolling right and was able to throw it to Odell down the sideline. So it's an offense that you have to be ready to go. They have a ton of big plays in the pass game and running game. So it's a true kind of do your job game for us defensively between the front, the linebackers, and the secondary is each one of us doing what we're supposed to do on every defensive call.
Why do you think the zero blitz stuff has been so effective for you guys this year? Obviously, what the ghost comments that Darnold made, but it seems like you've done that for multiple weeks now against multiple different quarterbacks.
It's really just, I think any of our defensive calls is knowing who's supposed to be where and then executing it. It's, when we talk about doing something in practice, if this guy goes here, you do this, it's when it comes up in the game, it's actually doing that. And I think when you do that over and over again, repetition, then you can play fast and aggressive in a defense. So whether that's blitz zero, whether that's a zone coverage, I think anything we've run this year, when we do it right and everybody lines up and does what they're supposed to do, it usually turns out well for us. But there's even some of those blitz zeros where we don't do that, and then it doesn't turn out well because of that. So I think it has to be that sense of urgency to get it right on all our defensive calls because that's the only way we'll have success.
You've been on a lot of successful defensive teams. Obviously, you have some rings in your safety deposit box, but what is it that allows this one? Is this like a good marriage of the intelligence, experience, and the athleticism to sort of cover all phases, all areas?
I think so far we've done a good job of that, but I can't compare. We're only 7 games in. we can stink for the rest of the season, and then no one will talk about us being a good defense anymore. So I think we obviously have a good group of guys when it comes to having knowledge of the system. Still, not old enough to be, use a cane and still can run around a little bit out there. I think we have that, but I think it's the mentality of coming and working each day during the week to kind of be prepared for Sunday. I think guys' attitudes of not having it, understanding that we're in a close race each week to try to out-prepare our opponents and, taking a unique week like this where, Cleveland's on a bye week, we come off a Monday night game. Like, are we going to work our butts off to try to get as prepared as they are because they had a couple days advantage on us? So I think it's that mentality that's helped us out as a defense, but even overall as a team.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, Olivia Vernon, those are two guys off the edge who are very dangerous, can change the game, create negative plays. And, they're young, athletic defense and like to create turnovers and negative plays. So it's going to be a good challenge for us. And like I said, each and every week we're just trying to get better and better as an offense. And, last week was a good step in the right – or last week on Monday, it was a good step in the right direction. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Chiefs, another quick turnaround. How tough are these going from 4 days to 11 days now back to another quick kind of turnaround for you guys?
It's just part of being in the NFL. You just have to be able to, focus on short weeks or be able to adjust on short weeks and turn the page from the Jets now to the Browns and getting healed up as much as possible so you can go out there and put your best foot forward. So all of us as players are study up on the Browns. We haven't played them in a few years now, so getting to know their players, their coaches, so we're super prepared.
You see your defense every day in practice. I can imagine that you're not surprised by the way they're playing, but even at this level, are you a little surprised to see how dominant they've been? A couple goose eggs, the way they shut them out.
It's not really surprising. Those guys work hard in practice. They play well together. They can rush the passer. They can cover, do whatever they need to do to stop the run. So, they've been continuing to get better each and every week. It's been pretty cool to see. They've had our back all year long, and I'm sure those guys will keep it going.
This is the most talented 2-4 team, top to bottom, you've ever seen?
Every team in the NFL is talented, honestly, and anybody can get beat on any given Sunday if you're not prepared. But, these guys have a lot of great players on their team, and like I said, they're going to come out ready to go, coming off a bye week, so they'll be refreshed. So, like I said, they're going to give their best shot.
And the Browns, 2-4, will travel to meet the unbeaten Patriots. New England has only given up 48 points all season long defensively. The Browns looking for help anywhere they can find it on the offensive line. They designated Drew Forbes to return from injury yesterday. That means Drew Forbes has basically 21 days before the Browns decide whether they're going to put him on the active roster or leave him on IR for the rest of the season. But Forbes could help that offensive line. Want to tell you about the Ohio Lottery, our stat of the month. Did you know that the Ohio Lottery gives out $6.25 million or more each and every month on their pick games every week? With that amount of winning, stop by your local retailer and try your luck with Pick 3, Pick 4, or Pick 5, the Ohio Lottery, and the Pick 3, 4, and 5 game. We're going to step aside and take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll hear from the Browns and what they think as they're getting ready for the 7-0 New England Patriots Sunday at 4:25 in Foxborough.
Presque Isle Downton Casino now has sports betting. Use one of the 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet. Then, watch your favorite games on our new HD televisions or visit our new sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downton Casino.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students, kindergarten through 12th grade, can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine. Welcome back to More Sports and Les Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. I'm Dave Bacon. The 2-4 Browns coming off a bye, getting ready to travel to Foxborough to face the 7-0 New England Patriots. Now, it's true that New England has not played a bunch of tough teams. In fact, really only one of the teams they faced, Buffalo, over 500. And the Bills played them tough as they lost 16-10 to New England. That's really the only game that New England has had that has not been a blowout all season long. Patriots defense has been outstanding. They have given up a total of 48 points in the 7 games they've played. And at quarterback, Tom Brady has pretty much played like Tom Brady.
It's easier said than done. You say you get to him, you sack him, but I think he's the fastest this year getting the ball off and getting it out of his hands. So you have to make sure that he's out there seeing ghosts. He's holding the ball, he's padding it, he's looking for other options, and you can have some time to get the ball out of his hands, strip him, and get the ball to your offense.
He's got backup players kind of playing left tackle, playing center. He wasn't their projected starters. So is it him primarily avoiding pressure?
I mean, it's always the chemistry of both of them working together. A good offensive line is also held down by their quarterback. So if their quarterback is holding the ball too long, it's not always on the offensive line. If the offensive line is not very good, and but he's getting the ball off, they play off of each other. So I think it's a little bit of both. They have a offensive line who does their job, and a quarterback who knows the game very well and knows to get the ball out of his hands and get it to his playmakers.
What's your idea of Brady's legacy, and did you grow up imagining sacking him? What kind of goes into facing him for you personally?
Grew up imagining sacking him. When I was growing up, I imagined I was going to be playing basketball, so no. But as I got older and realized that he had no plans of retiring until about 50, I thought about getting to him. I mean, if he's not the best to ever do it, he's top 2. So you want to be able to say you got to a guy like that and you beat a guy like that.
Can you believe that he's playing at this high level at the age he's playing at?
I mean, he knows how to take care of his body. He knows the game as well as anybody in the league. Just because as his physical abilities slowly decline, his IQ is still growing. So he's able to supplement what he can't do with his arm, but he can still do most things on the field.
Yeah. Is it frustrating as a pass rusher when he sees you coming and throws the ball on the ground, or looks like he avoids some sacks that way?
That's the second most annoying thing that you can see as a pass rusher.
What's the first?
What's the first? A Lamar Jackson or a Russell Wilson.
Okay, yeah.
I think that everything the Patriots, all that encompasses New England within their franchise, of how they do it consistently, and he's been obviously a stable part of that for a long time. So any chance you get to, go up against competition like that, it's a good, good opportunity to see what you're all about. So we're excited about it.
Is there ever a point in the draft process where you thought you'd end up in New England?
Yeah, I said that in an article, so I'm guessing that's why you said that, Tony.
I think you said it in one of your documentaries too.
Well, yeah, then it got written on a piece of paper, yeah. So you know that. So you knew the answer to the question you already asked?
What led you to believe that?
Just a hunch. I was wrong. Like some of your articles, though.
Did Josh McDaniels spend a lot of time with you?
No, just short amount of time.
But he worked you out privately?
Nope. No.
When you see their 18 interceptions, what stands out to you most about them?
They have, obviously, they're a well-coached team. That's just plain and simple. But they they're aggressive. They give their secondary a chance to play aggressive and have eyes, in the backfield, seeing where the ball's thrown. And they're just always in the right place at the right time. That's just part of being well coached and guys knowing exactly what they need to do and doing their job. So they play well with each other.
Historically, they've been really tough on young quarterbacks. Sam had a tough night on Monday. What do they do up front schematically? Just disguising things? Like, what do they do that makes it really difficult?
They move guys around up front. They try and get you to, get the perfect look or get the perfect protection. And they mix stuff up. And they pressure you. They heat you up. If you're a young quarterback, you can see that. They've done that so far this year. We'll see how they play us, but we have to be ready for pressure and react.
Do they change things enough where you never know exactly what you're going to get? I mean, obviously, like Sam, but they don't do that every week.
No, they're always a game plan specific defense, and that's why they're great. They try and point out your weak and expose that, and take away your strength. And that's just the type of team they are. So we're gonna have to see how they're playing us and be able to react. It's part of being an offense that we need to be able to adjust. It's some of the same messages I've tried to speak throughout the season. Is see how teams are playing us and be able to play off that. I feel good. Got a week's of rest, and now I'm ready to go.
Would that have been tough for you to play last week?
I don't know. I mean, once you get adrenaline going, but I'm happy I got a week off.
When you look at all their, they have crazy, especially defensively, Patriots have crazy numbers that stand out. Is there one that you really look at and boggles your mind?
They obviously get a lot of points off their turnovers, but a lot of the turnovers are on, offense's negative side of the field, so it sets up their offense for automatic points, and they take advantage of that. I think they just play, they do a good job playing complementary football, and so the takeaways and getting points off of it is the biggest stat to me.
Seems like Jamie Collins is going back there.
Jamie Collins is playing great. Obviously, he's a vital role there. He's been there before, and he just went right back and plugging back in. He's making plays. Obviously, a lot of respect for Jamie, just being around him for a year, and he's doing a good job.
Definitely Patriots, the way that they play, and I would say he's probably top 2-3 corners in the league. He's got great feed. He's just playing at a high level. Easily one of the top 3 in the league.
Do you expect him to match you?
Yeah. I expect them to do what they do, to be honest, whatever their plan is going to be a detailed, thorough plan, whether he's following, whether he's one side, whether he's following some going. I expect them to do what they do.
Oh, the way they play, what makes that so unique?
I feel like it's been this way for a long time. They have a system. Unfortunately, it reminds me of Alabama in a sense of they have a system. They have guys who are coming in. They have guys who are in the same number from the past. They have the same style. They get fast linebackers coming off the edge, good corners, and they just play as a team. Ever since I can remember, I've been watching Tom Brady. He's one of my biggest idols, somebody who I look up to, who's inspired me throughout my life. And it's just been this way for as long as I can remember. This has been the team to beat. It's been the team that everybody, has their eyes on because they are the best. And Belichick has just done a phenomenal job over there in running it and getting the team exactly how he wants them. So you're going to have to bring your A-plus game. There's no, you can't beat them by making mistakes. They don't make many mistakes. They have few penalties. They play perfect.
As a sports fan, you're obviously a big sports fan in all sports. Usually dynasties are like over 5, 6, 7-year period. This is 2 decades. Does it amaze you that you're living through this and seeing what they've been able to do for so long?
Yeah, like I say, Tom Brady's the GOAT, and I know, we've done some GOAT cloning, so I think that I think there's something going on. He's not human to be, playing the way he's still playing, mentally prepared every single game, decisive decisions, knows how to manage a game. Plays offense and defense with the way that he plays. He's just very smart. He's the best to ever do it. I don't think anybody could really argue it. He's just the greatest. So I definitely want some of the water that he's drinking. Hopefully, that's who everyone. I know for me as well. We all are inspired to be like him.
Going up against a defensive genius like Bill Belichick, do you enjoy the
Yeah, definitely. It's just, this is a coach who I've looked at for the longest time, and I have a love-hate relationship for him because they beat every and any team I ever wanted to win a Super Bowl. The only team I ever followed was the Rams when it was greatest show on turf, and I was like, the team I was watching as a kid, like, loved them, and then they beat them. So I was always rooting for him because I loved to see him succeed, but then I always, wanted somebody to take him. So going against Bill Belichick, this is, somebody who I have much respect for. Probably talked to him before and after the game. He tells me the same thing every time. He's like, I hope you enjoy the day because it's not going to be much for you, and that's what he's doing. That's what he does every single time. It's just tough. He's going to coach it up, and they're going to be ready and prepared.
Odell, their defensive numbers are off the charts.
I don't think he even needs this. It's crazy.
But do you feel they've been challenged offensively? You look at the teams they've played, the Jets twice, Washington, Miami. It doesn't matter. They're as good as they look.
No team has scored. Every team's in the NFL. Only getting I think nobody scored over 10 points. Maybe the Bills scored 10 points. 16-10. Ain't nobody scoring, so it doesn't matter if they haven't faced the best offense in the league or whatever it is. They play at a very high level. I know our game plan is to come in and be the very best team that we are going to be. Play assignment, alignment, and technique. Everything has got to be on point.
Again, the Browns will face the New England Patriots, 7-0 Patriots, in Foxborough, 4:25 kickoff on Sunday. Want to tell you about Northeast Factory Direct. There's no gimmicks, no deceiving blowout sales or typical retail nonsense. Just 3 huge bare-bones warehouses filled with some of the same stuff found at a number of stores, but one significant difference. At Northeast Factory Direct, the items are priced about half of regular retail. Bottom line, nobody's going to touch their everyday savings or quality. If you want nice big-ticket items to improve your home and you want to pay half the price of most people, head to Northeast Factory Direct. 3 locations, West 140th Street in Cleveland. In the old B&B Appliance on Lakeland Boulevard in Euclid, Freeway Drive in Macedonia. You can find everything they have at northeastfactorydirect.com. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. When we return, cleveland.com's columnist Doug Lemerises joins us. We'll talk Browns and then Buckeyes. More sports, Les Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
No other company or product can match the features, benefits, and warranty of an authentic Nature Stone floor.
There was moisture in the basement. It ruined the carpeting. The smell was terrible. We didn't feel safe in our own basement, and that's when we called Nature Stone.
And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, you will never have to replace your basement flooring again. Get Nature Stone installed by the end of October and save up to half off. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Oh, gosh. Playing Ohio Lottery Pick 3, I see. What are you going to do? A box bed, a split pairs, or a wheel? Well, old Picky Ricky here is a straight shooter.
Okay.
It razzes my berries when newbies think betting's hard. Straight bets are easy peasy. Just match 3 numbers in order and win the old-fashioned way. This, on the other hand, is not so simple. Oh, God. Oh, jeez Louise. Play the Ohio Lottery Pick 3 today.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget. Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Welcome back to More Sports and Les Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. I'm Dave Bacon. We've heard from the Browns. We've heard from the Patriots. The Browns and the Patriots getting ready to play in Foxborough, Massachusetts, a 4:25 kickoff Sunday afternoon. Time to welcome in cleveland.com's Doug Lemerises. Doug, what do you expect to see from the Browns? What do you want to see from the Browns? What do we need to see from the Browns at 2-4 as they move forward against a really good football team in New England?
Well, I think the best receiver on the field Sunday will be Odell Beckham. I think the best running back on the field will be Nick Chubb. I think the best pass rusher on the field will be Myles Garrett. So the Browns have to look like they're competitive with the Patriots. There's no reason that they shouldn't be. The Patriots' defense is unbelievable this year. It's the best defense in football, but the Patriots also have not faced a team with this bevy of skill guys. And so the Browns need to look like the Browns that we expected to see this year, which is, hey, we've got a lot of options on offense. We have a quarterback who knows how to run this thing. We have a play caller who knows how to attack. You hope they go up tempo a little bit. You hope they're aggressive. And if they make some mistakes of aggression, throwing a pick or two, okay, don't make stupid penalties. Don't jump off sides. Don't have, personal fouls after the play. But you hope they go toe-to-toe. If they don't win, it's not the end of the world, but you would like to see the Browns come out and look like they absolutely belong on the field with the best team in the AFC.
And that is, you touched on it a little bit. People are overlooking the fact that the Patriots have not really been tested with a really talented football team per se. Having said that, their defense, I think it's 48 total points they've given up. They've had a couple of shutouts. They've really only been in one game. They beat Buffalo 16-10 a few weeks ago. What do you want to see play calling wise? That's kind of overlooked a little bit. Is the Browns haven't really put Baker Mayfield in a lot of positions to succeed, I think, in the first 6 games.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to have situations. The Baltimore game was the example, right? That they go on the road there. They get the ball out of Baker's hands. They look in rhythm. They've had drive. They've had, you go back and look when they took the lead, the first 3 drives against Seattle, they look great. They've had moments when they've hit, little handoffs to Nick Chubb that pop out. When they get the ball to the receivers in rhythm, that's the thing. I think sometimes we do talk about like, oh, this offense, the play call. It's looked good in spurts. It hasn't been consistent, but there have been moments when you've said that's the offense. So that's the offense you want to see. You don't want to see Baker scrambling around like a crazy man, leaving clean pockets. So obviously a big deal is what they're going to come out with the offensive line. They have to make him feel comfortable. But also I think they have to use, and Jarvis Landry said this, they have to target Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, especially in the red zone. When they get inside the 20, too often they're trying to throw to Antonio Callaway and Demetrius Harris to score touchdowns. That's not going to work. They've got to find a way to get Beckham and Landry and maybe Rashard Higgins little cracks so they have a chance to get some routes in the end zone. Because that's the thing, too. They've got to move the ball, but they've got to convert. If they get inside the 20 and kick a bunch of field goals, they're going to lose.
What about this defense? What do you want to see from them go on that side of the football? Obviously, Tom Brady, an entirely different animal because he's not going to hold the ball very long.
I'd like to see the defense win this game for them. I don't think that's too much to ask. In the preseason, Freddie Kitchens said the strength of this team is the defensive line. It has not looked at. Myles Garrett flashes at times. It has not been a dominating defensive line play after play. And like you said, the only close game the Patriots have played was a low-scoring game with the Bills. So, yes, Tom Brady is unbelievable, but we already went through the weapons. The scheme, the experience, the accuracy of Tom Brady scares you. Josh Gordon's out. Antonio Brown is gone. They just got Mohamed Sanu, but he's going to be new to the offense. Gronk is gone. There's not a running back that really scares you. this should be a game, especially with the secondary healthy. And I think at times we have overlooked that. I've thought that the secondary has held up pretty well for the first 3 quarters of several games. I feel like in the fourth quarter, you could tell they've missed Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward at times. But if Denzel and Greedy are back, and if this defensive line, that is a high-priced defensive line. They need to play like it. But absolutely, for all the stuff we said about the offense, I absolutely think this could be a game where this defense goes in and wins in New England. You win a low-scoring game because they're all over Tom Brady.
Here's a concern that I've had. It seems like when things are going south, not going the way the Browns want it, it's just been snowballed. They haven't been able to overcome adversity. And I think you saw that in the first game. You saw that in the Monday night game. And to a certain extent, in the middle part, towards the end part of that Seattle game, you saw a lot of that. Is that a mindset? Is that because they're relatively young as far as players go? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it stops. I think that's on the defense. You know, the Tennessee game was nuts, right? They had so many penalties, you couldn't have beaten anybody that day. And the Niners game, it's a West Coast road trip. Kyle Shanahan has a good offensive plan, and they have a lousy defensive game plan. So I think those can be explained. Not excused, but explained. You know, the Seattle game, they get the big lead, they give it back, but then they went back ahead. They didn't give up. They took the lead again in that Seattle game, and then that defense gave it up right away on the next drive, and Russell Wilson marched them down the field. So it stops. It stops at critical situations. It's when it feels like it's getting away. Okay, let's send these guys out on the field and get a 3-and-out. And I know it's Tom Brady, and I know it's Russell Wilson, and I know it's Jimmy. You know, they face good players. I get it. Get a stop. This is a high-priced defense. Get a sack, stuff a run early on, knock the ball down. I think a lot of that is defensive. We've all focused so much on Baker and the offense, and reasonably so. Get a stop when you need it, and this season would look different. Get a stop when you need it in New England, that game could look different.
Let me ask you this. I think this game's going to be reasonably competitive. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a couple of times this season. And I'm not saying they're going to go into New England and win, but I think this game will be decided in the fourth quarter. I think it'll be a reasonably close game. What is your sense? I think the week off, the short week, you know, the Patriots played Monday night. Don't forget that. Browns are coming off a bye. What's your thought on this game?
No, I mean, it's one of the, it's like, do you think the Patriots are going to go 16-0? So if you think they're going to go 16-0, then they go 16-0. If you don't think they're going 16-0, if you think they're going 13-3, what are the 3? I'll tell you what. On a short week, when the Browns had a bye and Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, Myles Garrett, Joe Schobert, Marius Randall, Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, Mack Wilson, Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon, Larry Ogunjobi, Joel, those guys are coming to town. That's a reasonable loss. I know it's at home. I know there's lots of things that say the Patriots don't lose at home to young quarterbacks. We know Bill Belichick is a genius, but they don't go undefeated. They did once in the regular season. Like it would really truly be an almost reason. This sounds crazy. I know it does. It's like, well, the Patriots lost to the Browns. What are you going to do? The Browns are so good that it really would be a reasonable loss, which is why I think it is okay to hold the Browns to a standard of, if you go there and get blown off the field, there is reason to be very disappointed with that, even though it's the Patriots, because there's a lot in Cleveland's favor right now.
Let's put on our rose-colored glasses. Say the Browns do go to New England. They do win. Is that a season-changing type of victory on the road? I think it would be.
Yeah, I think so. This is super rose-colored. Like, I think they're fine if they lose, but if they win, it changes everything, right? I mean, this team needs something to feel good about. And I'm not being facetious when I say, like, I even think in a world where they would get 2-7, they could still make the playoffs, because I think the schedule would allow you to think they still could go 7-0 to end the season. But the hard part of that is the mental part of it. And everybody talking about it. Oh, 2-7. They could use a pick-me-up. But if they lose, especially if they're competitive, if they lose and you say, okay, let's go get Denver and Buffalo, and then we all know what the second half of the season looks like. It's not a must win by any stretch. No, it's not a must win, but I do think these guys could use a lift, and beating the Patriots is the biggest lift. Beating the Patriots in Foxborough, the biggest lift in the NFL.
Doug Lemerises, appreciate the insight. Stick around. We're going to take a quick timeout. Doug will be back to talk about the Buckeyes getting ready for Wisconsin this weekend. Well, we want to tell you a little bit about Tri-C. Explore your interest and find a program that puts you on path to a bright future. Tri-C offers more than 1,000 courses and over 140 career and technical programs. Go to tri-c.edu. That's tri-c.edu to find out more. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. Doug Lemerises will join us to break down the Badgers and the Buckeyes this weekend. More sports. Les Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. We'll be right back.
As a kid growing up, my dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had two choices. I was accepted into a four-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Smiley One Heating and Cooling. Find them at 440-449-HEAT.
Welcome back to More Sports and Les Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. The Ohio State Buckeyes stayed undefeated and really pretty much unchallenged, defeating Northwestern Friday night. Getting ready for Wisconsin this week. Let's bring Doug Lemerises from cleveland.com, columnist, back in. Doug, you've seen the Buckeyes. They looked good. Any reason for concern at all from anything that you've seen with Ohio State so far?
No, the only thing, the Northwestern popped like 3 runs in the first half. One of the plays, Ohio State only had 10 defenders on the field. And it's like, here's my advice for Ohio State. Have all 11 defensive guys on the field for every snap, and other than that, you'll be fine. The bar is so high for them, it's like if they give up a 13-yard play, we end up asking Ryan Day, like, is that a problem? I don't think Wisconsin has a really good offensive line, as usual. They have a really good running back, as usual. They don't have super dynamic guys. They have a good receiver. Their quarterback's okay. I don't think that their defense is good. I don't think Ohio State's going to score 50. But what Wisconsin does works against almost everybody, to their credit. There's no reason for Wisconsin to be this good. Why Wisconsin is like a consistent top 15 team, there's no birthright to that. They do it because they're smart. They've adopted a style. They've recruited into that style. And they're super smart and just on point about doing that. But when you play a bunch of 5-stars, it doesn't really work. They're 1-9 against Ohio State in the last 10. They've been competitive in a lot of those games. But I do not see a way that Wisconsin wins this one.
How impressed are you with the fact that Ohio State seems to come every week to play, even though, they have to realize they've got more talent than anybody that they're going to be facing. There's a mindset that it appears they've developed this year that I think is a really good thing.
Yeah, and that's a credit to them. And again, you look like you're coming to play every week right up until the week you don't come to play. So, we all know the loss. That always are referenced. Iowa in 2017, Purdue in 2008. But they don't face super dynamic offensive teams in the Big Ten. The Big Ten just does not trot out quarterbacks and receivers that really scare you. And so they've locked it down. All the credit to them for that. They have a lot of really good high-level defensive players. They're running to the ball. They're group tackling. They don't they don't have penalties. And on the offensive side of the ball, they end up facing. There's a lot of Big Ten defenses that statistically are ranked very high. But again, part of that is in the Big Ten. You're not facing guys who are going to light it up. But then when you face Justin Fields and J.K. Dobbins and Austin Mack and Ben Victor and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, then you get lit up sometimes. But yes, so far, the idea that they have come out and basically won by 40 almost every week, they are motivated by the losses of the past 2 years. I talked to Chase Young about that for a while after the Northwestern win. It's a credit to Ryan Day and this staff, but the players who lived it, they don't have to be reminded of that. They know you have one lousy week and it ruins your dream. And they've lived it for 2 years and they don't want to live it for a third.
It looks by all indications, if they take care of business the way they have, they will be in that first four when the first college football playoff pairings come up. How much of a motivating factor is that? How much is that in the back of their minds? How much is that in the front of their minds is making sure they're in that situation. And then if you win and you win and you win, you usually end up where you want to be.
Yeah, that's the standard here now. In the playoff era, the standard at Ohio State is the playoff. And they've been in the playoff mix all 5 years of the college football playoff, but they've only made it twice. The top four get in, they finish 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So when they haven't made it, they've been right on the edge. They've had Sundays where they're sitting there waiting for the 4 teams to come up on the screen on TV, and they think they're in, and they're not. So it's one of those things. You have to take care of business every week, or you're not going to get in the playoff. But this is not a place where winning the Big Ten or beating. Yes, you got to beat Michigan to get to where you want to go. But they're beating Michigan, they're winning Big Ten titles, and they're not happy. So that's not the goal. The goal is the playoff. And they all know that. They all think about it. But they know if they get wrapped up in that and they lose once, they're going to screw it up. They are one of the 4 best teams. But they're not going to get in the top 4, probably, unless they win all their games. So that keeps you on a week-to-week mindset. But 100%, these guys have the playoff on their mind all the time as well.
When you look at this year's team, what area has impressed you the most? What have you and it doesn't have to be necessarily one. What are some things that you've gone, this is as good or better than I thought it would be?
It's funny. I mean, there's a lot of fun comparisons that I've tried to draw between the Browns and Ohio State this season. The first-year head coach being first and foremost among that. But I think both teams, the 2 biggest question marks going into the season for both teams were the offensive line on that side of the ball and the linebacker on the other side of the ball. And while I think the Browns linebackers have played pretty well, their offensive line has been a mess, and that's kind of why they are where they are. For Ohio State, the linebackers have played great. They're probably going to play 4 linebackers at times against Wisconsin, and they have 4 guys in Tuff Borland, Baron Browning, Malik Harrison, and Pete Warner that they trust. But on the offensive side of the ball, the line, as opposed to Brown, the line has been great. 4 out of 5 new starters, but they're playing connected. They've allowed some pressures of Justin Fields, but J.K. Dobbins is finding holes in the run game. They have protected Justin Fields more often than that. 2 redshirt sophomores there, Josh Myers at center and Wyatt Davis at right guard, look like potential future All-Americans. So I think, again, this team doesn't have a weakness. Those were the question marks coming in, and they are not question marks anymore.
Doug Lemerises, as always, we appreciate the insight. Doug Lemerises, columnist for cleveland.com, talking about the Buckeyes and earlier the Browns. We'll check back in with Doug during the season as well. Time for us to take a quick time out. When we return, the D-Man joins us with some picks against the point spread for entertainment purposes only. More Sports Les Levine. The Weekend Winners Edition will be right back. Stay with us.
No other company or product can match the features, benefits, and warranty of an authentic Nature Stone floor.
I had an epoxy-based sand paint on my floor that deteriorated, and that's why I called Nature Stone.
Why paint? It's expensive, it's ugly, and it doesn't last. Nature Stone is always affordable. It's beautiful, and with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, you will never have to replace your garage floor again. Get Nature Stone installed by the end of October and save up to half off. It's not just a floor, wow, it's Nature Stone.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Presque Isle Downs and Casino now has sports betting. Use one of the 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet. Then watch your favorite games on our new HD televisions or visit our new sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downs and Casino.
Welcome back to More Sports and Les Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. I'm Dave Bacon. Week 8 of NFL football getting ready. And now, for entertainment purposes only, we'll take a look at some of the point spreads. Want to remind you, legalized sports wagering just a little over an hour away from downtown Cleveland in Erie, Pennsylvania, right off of I-90. It's Presque Isle Casino and Downs and the Bet America Sportsbook, 50 state-of-the-art kiosks throughout the casino in Erie, Pennsylvania at Presque Isle Downs and Casino. We welcome in the D-Man. And D-Man, we're going to start a little friendly game between you and I, picking games predominantly NFL. We'll throw a few Buckeye games in there, but we're going to be NFL this week. Let's start out with the Browns. The Browns are currently, obviously, playing the Patriots, a big underdog. Who do you like in this one? Patriots, I believe it's 12 now. 12 points, the Patriots are favored by.
Listen, I get that the Browns are more talented than 2 and 4 and, are coming off a bye. But come on. I mean, the Patriots are a machine, 7-0. The offense hasn't even clicked yet. The defense is awesome. The total points scored against the Patriots, I think it's 6.9 a game. And that includes a pick 6 by Brady's backup. So bottom line is I think the Patriots win this one handily and cover the spread. And,
I'm going to flip and I'm going to actually, I'm not sure why, but I'm going to take the 12.5 and say that the Browns will, in fact, keep it at least reasonably close in Foxborough. Short week is one of the things I think. I think the Browns actually may have a little bit of offensive rhythm for the first time in a little bit. And I know Patriots defense is good. I think the Browns find a way to keep it really within 10. I think it'll be much closer than people expect. Now, we're going against that, and that's not always going to happen. I'll turn it over.
One of us is going to be right.
Exactly. That's the good news. Let's look over, and you like the we'll go with your second pick. Who do you like? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Rams at home against the hapless Cincinnati Bengals. Rams are laying 13 by last check, and that's the one I want to ride with because the Rams stumbled and bumbled to a 3-game losing streak, but then they went to a bad Falcons team on the road and beat them handily. You say, well, what's the big deal? Well, they had to travel across country to do it, and it seemed like they got some things figured out. Now they come home as I said, to a hapless team, a winless Bengals team that's banged up in addition to being bad. So I think the Rams easily cover the 13 at home against the Bengals.
Then the other one that we'll let you talk about, Broncos at the Colts. Colts 5.5 favorites.
Yeah, I've got the Colts in this one because I'm still thinking about how good the Colts looked at Kansas City several weeks ago and how physical they were in winning that game. And not much that's happened since has changed my mind. In fact, they just beat the Houston Texans at home, and I like the Texans a lot. So I'm actually suspicious of this line a little bit, Dave, because I'm wondering why the Colts aren't favored by more. Granting that Denver's probably not as bad as their 2-5 record indicates, but still, I think the Colts should be favored by more. Therefore, I take the Colts in this one.
And let's look at your third pick. We're each going to pick 3 in addition to the Browns each and every week. We'll keep track of it. Who do you like as your third pick?
The Chargers, I don't know why. I freely admit to being crazy when I do this here. Why I'm taking the Chargers +4 at Chicago. Because Phillip Rivers has proven to be an absolute Rubik's Cube, for me anyway, because I can't solve the Rubik's Cube. I don't know how you figure out what he's going to do week to week, what the Chargers are going to do week to week. They invent new ways to lose. They have to go to Chicago. But here's the thing. The Bears' offense looks so lost to me and so antiquated that I just think that somehow, some way, the Chargers keep it within 4. Therefore, give me the 4 in Chicago with the Chargers.
And so there you have it. The D-man likes the Chargers, likes the Colts, likes the Rams, and he also likes the Patriots to cover. Now I'm going to start with the Panthers. They're getting 5.5 against the 49ers. I know the 49ers are kind of the in vogue pick. I like Christian McCaffrey, and I'm still not sold that the 49ers are quite as good as the team as everybody thinks they are. I know it was a rainstorm in Washington. They only scored 9 points. And I'm just not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo and that running game, much to the chagrin of the national media, who has ordained them as one of the better teams in the NFC. Not buying it yet. I like McCaffrey, and I also like the Panthers. And I know it's on the road, on the West Coast in San Francisco, but I think 5.5 too much to give Carolina. I'm going with the Panthers. The next one, I'm going to go with the Titans, giving 2.5 against the Buccaneers at home. Ryan Tannehill was pretty good filling in for Mariota in the first start. The other thing is Mike Vrabel's a pretty good defensive coach, and Jameis Winston has had a lot of trouble. He's been all over the place. One week he's great, next week not so good. 5 picks in the last game he played before the bye in London. I like the Titans giving 2.5 at home against the Bucs. And then the last one, I'm going to go with the Monday Nighter, and the Dolphins in Pittsburgh getting 14. So I know the Dolphins are not a great team. They've gotten a little bit better, still winless. But the Steelers, they're not good enough to give anybody 14. The Steelers will win on Monday night. I don't think they're going to win by more than 2 touchdowns against the Dolphins. So I'm going to go Panthers, Titans, and Dolphins getting 14, in addition to the Browns getting 12.5.
I like those picks, Dave. I'm a little nervous about your Panthers 49ers pick, but I do agree. The 49ers do not look to me to be some invincible, unbelievable superstar team like the Patriots are. So somebody's going to beat them at some point or keep it close enough. And then the Dolphins is funny because the Buffalo Bills struggled with the Dolphins in Orchard Park. Bills have 1 loss this season. Dolphins are hapless, and yet they went in and were beating them, I believe, at halftime. So it is possible that the Dolphins keep it close enough.
Now, I know the Steelers are going to run the football, but again, I think the Dolphins find a way to keep that close. D-Man and I are going to tabulate these and keep a running total going. We'll have some way of letting you know who's in the lead that's a little out of the ordinary. We're still working on that, but we will, in fact, have a way to show you who has the lead each and every week. First week that we will do it. That'll do it for this edition of More Sports Les Levine, Weekend Winners Edition. We appreciate it, T-Man. Great job with the picks.
Thanks, Dave.
As always.
Well, we'll see about it if it's a great job.
We'll see. Want to remind you, the legalized sports wagering just an hour away, Presque Isle Casino. The casino has 50 state-of-the-art kiosks throughout the casino at Presque Isle Downs Casino, Erie, Pennsylvania, right off of I-90. That'll do it for this edition of More Sports Les Levine, Weekend Winners Edition. Les Levine back in the chair Monday night at 6 o'clock right here on cleveland.com. Until then, have a great weekend.